you know, that you give
that's
to
really
the
key,
scheme.
isn't it? Yeah,
It's really important.
It's a community thing.
You can't view the scheme separate from the community.
It's about community. It's not about anything else.
It's just a tool.
And that's why we like it, because it builds community.
Yeah,
And
I think that's
people get to know each other who wouldn't
yeah.
maybe get to know each other.
Because you said you were up to about 50 now.
Well, we're probably
30 something.
35 households.
Households. So,
okay, so that's.
but then you multiply that by the people who live in the house.
People in the house. So so that's kind of quite a lot of people.
Because that's the other thing. So your kids can go on there and.
Well, they are.
Our kids have actually got their own accounts.
Yeah, they have to.
Is that a good thing?
They can be quite busy,
Yeah, so the kids are good.
So the kids are doing it as well.
Bit of babysitting.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That really frees people up.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So that's good. Bit of car washing, you know.
Yeah.
I think at the sort of abstract level, the key thing about schemes is that thing about, you know, I remember doing economics and they used to talk about money having various functions, and only one of which was that it was a measure of exchange, and that's essentially all that a green dollar scheme is, and all that other stuff about effectively being a commodity for itself is then lifted away, and so you don't have that thing about it being kept in artificially short supply and of it having a price of its own and all those other things that lead to the difficulties that we've got ourselves into. That's the sort of fundamental principle about it, is that it's just a means of a medium and a measurement of exchange to enable transfers to take place.
But then in doing that means that people then make connections and get to know each other, which is what building community resilience is all about.
So can you use them? Have you got like other? Okay, you got the gardens around. Have you got shops in it? Have you tried?
The only shop that's in it at the moment is Kwanga. But we'll see with the transition town thing, and I think it used to be the market, that there was a lot of the market stalls traded in green as well, and the market's changed a lot, and the existing, you know, the previous stallholders have kind of moved on.
So this is what a Saturday morning market, or
it's a Saturday morning organic market in Mangawai.
Mangawai.
Yeah, but that's not happening. Oh, the market still happens, but there's not so much green dollar trading goes on there anymore.
Why? What?
Because the people. The stallholders moved on.
There was a variety of personal reasons, really. It wasn't anything to do with the...
just people, not like normal
people
things to do.
So we're kind of sitting with the green dollar scheme at the moment, and I do think it's going to start to shift with the new groups of people that the transition town thing is bringing in. So it'll be interesting to see if we can start getting some of the local businesses involved again.
The thing with the shops, is that it also it almost feels like it requires another step in terms of local production as well, because I mean what would be key is if there's sufficient local food especially being produced to enable local shops to start selling that.
Yes.
Because while they're having to fetch stuff in, they can't really, it's not an advantage to them to be part of the green dollar scheme. But if it was local produce that they could buy at green dollar,
those two things do run quite in tandem actually, in terms of what's being produced locally, and I do see that as being quite important. But this shop is buying quite a lot of produce for green dollars that is then sold. So it happens here already, and it's just about, there's a reality that, like, you know, we used to run the vegetable stall at the market, and we were having to buy most stuff in because there just isn't enough surplus local production at the moment, and there's a massive gap in terms of what's produced locally, and that's one of the big challenges for the transition town thing, is to try and, I mean, we were trying to do it anyway, but the transition town just gives us another avenue to try and encourage people to be growing more stuff, and to be actually working together, so that not everyone's growing courgettes, if you know what I mean, so that there's like 3 million local courgettes in Kaiwaka, but nothing else.
You
so
talk to each
it's
other.
that thing about
I'm really good
spread.
at growing courgette, everyone is, you know what I mean, or no, I'm not saying I mean, and they can say, oh, I'm really good at kumi or whatever.
And it's just that thing about, but the thing we need most at the moment is local food production. And so we're doing our thing here, but we still don't have heaps of surplus to sell. because we're feeding ourselves.
Usually at those key times when everyone's got heaps of surplus.
Yeah.
Isn't
But
it?
then, you know, there's room to build that up. As we build our soils up, there's room to build that up. I'm quite confident though that we can start producing quite a lot more of surplus to sell.
Because you know how you're saying about people's balances. Does everyone know everyone else's balances as well?
Yeah. It's completely transparent and open.
So that's a paradigm shift as well.
Yes,
like,
it is. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that was that at first, so what would happen was every time the accounts went out, everybody would get their own account sheet in detail plus a list of all the balances. And then after a while at one of the AGMs, people said, oh, don't bother sending the balances anymore because we don't kind of feel a need to know, but we know we can know if we need to. So they don't get sent out routinely anymore, but they are completely transparent. They're available to anyone who wants them. So.